Shut up, Hira. As some of you might know, we moved into this studio about a year ago from our old basement workshop, and it's been absolutely incredible, but some of our temporary solutions have now become permanent. Who would have thought? The studio part is starting to really come together and look super nice, but our storage room is a complete mess. We have a project up there, and then Nori's armor is just sitting on this shelf, and the poor castle is just in the corner there. They deserve better. So instead of just taking all of these things and stuffing them in a shelf against the wall in this boring white room, I'm gonna paint a mural over there and then create like a showroom for all the things we made. I'm gonna be covering this entire wall all the way until the cable's up there. But whoever made this wall, I'm sorry, but you did an awful job because there are just cracks way too wide. So we're gonna cover the wall with some plywood boards to avoid this thing, because it's gonna be a crack in the mural. No, thank you. First up, plywood. Fixed it! I mean, it's not perfect by far, but it's definitely a lot better than what was here before. And I've also masked out the floor, the walls, and the ceiling up there. So we're now ready for painting. I got a lot of spray paint here, and I have no clue if this is way too much or way too little, because I've never actually tried spray painting properly before. So this is gonna be my first time. It's gonna be great. I've already made a sketch of what I want to paint inside Procreate, but I have to actually get it up here. So my little trick is, why is it stuck? Don't ask me why it's inside the trash. I'm gonna use a projector once I get it out of the trash to project my line art sketch on the wall, and then I can just paint on the line art, and then all the proportions are perfect. Step 1, turn it on. Focus. Plug in the HDMI. It works! Okay, that looks cool. Nice. Okay, now we just gotta line it up. I'm really just gonna use a marker and try to mark out all the lines, top to bottom. Let's mark. That sounds so lame. Line art is complete. I don't want to start painting directly onto here when I have zero experience with spray painting. So first, we're gonna test some caps. When I started looking into this, I wasn't even aware you could change the cap out. I mean, and apparently there's like a million different types of caps. They're all called weird things too, like skinny cream cap or pocket fat cap, or the best one, astro fat cap. What the heck is an astro fat cap? The people who made these names must be the same people who make names for nail polish. I've made a very professional setup here, so now we can test out all of these different caps and just get a feel of what they do. But first, we gotta shake. Contestant number 1, the transversal fat cap. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Cool. Okay, let's try the next. Skinny boy. You get super fine lines, but you also collect all the paint here, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to do that. So far, what I'm getting is the thin lines have a much higher risk of getting runny, and also the thin lines are the ones you want most control of. I'm already starting to see what the challenge might be here. Let's just test out the rest of the caps. And now for the Astro Fat Cap. Ooh. That was surprisingly fun, just trying out these caps. My favorites so far have been Skinny Cream Cap and the Astro Fat Cap, because I can see like how they can be used. This has a very nice line, and this can cover a lot of area and make nice fades. But at least now I feel a bit more confident of like the swoosh and the feel and the everything of the cans to start attacking the canvas. Note to self, just use gloves. This stuff is not coming off. I'm gonna begin with using some acrylic paint and rollers just to cover the largest surfaces first, and then do the spray paint after. Let's go! biggest surface is covered in paint now, which means it's time to spray. Oh boy, this is a lot harder than what I imagined. It looks so easy on video when the pros do it. I mean, they just go and then you got some crisp lines, some nice fades, and everything looks epic. Let me tell you, this ain't what it's like, actually. When you see it from here, I think it looks kind of nice. I like the color combos and the composition. Boy, let me bring you a little closer and show you what it really looks like. You see this right here? I tried to stay within the lines, but Martina, what is this? Like, you're not within the lines at all. Like, I haven't been this bad at staying within the lines since I was like 3. And here too, it's very difficult to stay within the lines. I don't think there's one spot on this entire mural where I've actually managed to stay within the lines. Let me just find a good spot. My God, the drip, and not in a good way, it's just everywhere. I definitely have very little control of what I'm doing. It's just a vastly different way of painting than what I'm used to. It's surprisingly tiring for your arm as well. Like, I'm not used to doing this all the time. Despite all that, I am having a lot of fun. I think it's good not to grow into old habits and just do the same thing. My plan for today is to start working on some lights and some shadows, try to get some shapes in that sort of defines more of a 3D space, because right now it's just color blocks. It's time to shape up. The background is starting to look pretty good, but there are some places where it's still a bit flat. So I'm gonna try to crinkle up some paper and apply the paint with that, just to give it a little more dimension. Before we move on, it's time for an ad for established titles. As you already know, our little boy Nori is the lord of our workshop. He's ruled here since day number 1, and all shall abide by his demands for play, food, and cuddles. But as of today, he is officially a real-life lord. And he knows it. With established titles, you can buy yourself or a loved one, your partner, parents, or your pets, a square foot of land in Scotland, which grants you the title of Lord or Lady. You receive a certificate with a unique plot number so you can see the exact location of your land, and for every order they plant a tree, which is pretty cool. It makes for a great last-minute gift, and you can officially change your name to Lord or Lady so no one can ever question your demands again. So if you think this sounds interesting, the first 200 people to purchase a title pack will get a plot close to Nori's, and they're currently running a huge sale, so go to establishedtitles.com/nerdforge and use our code nerdforge to get an additional 10% off your order. And back to the project. I keep trying to make crisp, nice lines like all the pros do. I just can't figure out how. Like, what do you do to make it so good? I need to have a look. Are there any secrets that I don't know?
If it's a rough surface, you don't want it completely touching. If you woppy,
I gotta try this. Okay, time to get some practice. Oh my God, look at that face. Didn't mean for him to cry. It's me right now. I don't think I got any better, by practicing making these lines. Maybe just slightly more than in the beginning, but I honestly think you just need many hours to master this technique because it's quite difficult. I might try a couple of places to use the spray can. I think I'll just use a paintbrush to make most of the line art because I want it to look crisp and nice for the mural, and probably just use some tape for the font. Maybe some other time. I guess I'm going back to my roots with some good old paintbrushes and tape. Let's start with the font. It's become super messy in here, there's dust everywhere, so I just have to do a quick little cleanup before I start working with the acrylic paints. Making me crazy. Oh yes, much better. Oh my god, that is so much better. I've felt bad about the castle for months now, so it feels really nice to just put it in here. I mean, look at this. We even have more space for more large projects. Not gonna spoil anything, but we have some cool stuff in store. And I think it fit pretty well together with this whole mural. It just brings some more color and more life into this space. And I think the style turned out pretty cool. It's pretty different from what I usually do. But that's all for now, folks. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, a huge thank you to our patrons for continuing to support us. And now it is time. Let's have a look at the final results.